welcome to Cindy's Library, and today I am going to be doing the Febregency tag. So, let us get started. Let's see, I believe we have, 9 questions. First question, who are my top 3 Regency authors? Well, first one is fairly obvious. Jane Austen started it all. What would we do without Jane? Have to do Fanny Burney next, I think. Read 2 books of hers now. Loved both of them. As for the third, I really enjoyed Rob Roy last year. And I liked The Lady of the Lakes. I'd probably have to go with Sir Walter Scott. Top 3 Regency poets. This one is harder. Wordsworth, Keats, and Scott, I'm guessing. I haven't read as many. I may need to dip more into the romantic poets. We shall see. Probably not this year, though. Got plenty on the list already. Let's see. Favorite historical event during the Regency in Britain or elsewhere? That is a very good question. Well, probably have to go with the second. Actually, maybe even the first was in the Regency period. There were at least 2 great awakenings in the United States in the early days of the country. And going into, say, 1814, 15. So I'd probably have to say that. The year is 1816. It is a dark and stormy night on Lake Geneva. You tell ghost stories with 3 legendary writers. Who are they? Bonus points as they are Regency. Well, I don't know if I've read anyone from the Regency particularly yet that I would want to do that with, but I think I would like to do G.K. Chesterton. He could definitely give us a good story and not pull any punches while still making it entirely comical. And he'd also be good for conversation in between. And he'd probably even bring all the food and other supplies we would need as far as that goes. Who else though? I might do Dorothy Sayers. She's not as well known for her ghost stories, but she did do detective novels and Dante. And then probably Elizabeth Gaskell. She actually did do ghost stories and has beautiful language. So that would be an interesting grouping there. Let's see, 5. Regency period is named after the Regency of George, Prince of Wales, who ruled in the stead of King George III. If I had to appoint a regent to rule my booktube channel, who would it be? I think a couple of my sisters watch my channel, but aren't really involved, haven't really talked about it. So given that, I'd probably have to do Kate Howe as having similar taste to me with Tori from Good Strong Words. A combination of them would probably be about right for my channel, I would think. Number 6. Much literature at the Regency is categorized as romantic. What word would I use to describe today's literature? I'm almost tempted to use disenchanted, except that's not quite right. Some of the genres, superhero movies, the popularity of fantasy, um, various sorts of supernatural romance. People may be disenchanted, but they're searching for something. So maybe seeking is the best way to put it. Seeking. Okay, 7. Shakespeare's plays were popular during the Regency. What artistic performances have I recently enjoyed? And said it could be dramatizations, audiobooks, TV, movie, live performances. Well, last August, I went to the Utah Shakespeare Festival for the very first time and had a marvelous time. I actually only ended up seeing one Shakespeare play out of the 4 we saw, but that one play was absolutely marvelous and a wonderful way to begin my Utah Shakespeare experience, and that was A Midsummer Night's Dream. Totally worth going to it for that. Let's see, 8. The Regency period was characterized by high fashion. What is a current trend or fashion in the booktube community that I adore or detest? Detest is a strong word, so we'll say dislike. But that I adore or dislike, I would have to say, sorry it took a while for me to think of one, but I have one. And that is, I can appreciate a finely edited video. But not everyone has the skill, the time, or other resources needed to do really excellent editing. So I adore it when booktubers who, for whatever reason, can't or don't want to bother about that, just don't. They don't let that stop them from being booktubers. I really appreciate that. Probably because I'm also one. Okay, so last question, question number 9. Jane Austen's novel shows the importance in the drawing room of Regency England. Think it's taste or manners or something like that. So tell us about my personal rating system. Well, I am happy to tell you about the books that I finished, whether I really enjoyed them or not. pro tip, if a item has its own individual book review, I probably really enjoyed it. But reading, I mean, there's so many things to consider. Enjoyment is one of them. But maybe it wasn't enjoyable, but I found it addressed important topics or issues, or about, or it was extremely well done, or was timely, or things along those lines. So I'm not really big on giving actual star or ratings like that. Tell you if I enjoyed something or not. Even if I really enjoyed it, I'll probably tell you that much. I do like talking about a few of my favorites midway through the year and at the end of the year. Beyond that, I am not sure I'm really into the rest. After all, part of it is very subjective, and the exact rating I might give it, if I were to give it a rating, might change on a different day or over time. Sometimes that happens. I've had books that I did not particularly enjoy reading the first time, but loved on a reread. Or a book I read the first time, but when I picked it up years later, and it's probably a childhood or teenage favorite, has nostalgic value, but just doesn't have the same magic it did the first time. So, anyway, that is my Febregency tag answers. Uh, if you are doing Febregency especially and you want to do this tag and you haven't yet, you can consider this permission to do this tag. Thank you so much for stopping by. Truly do appreciate it. So, until next time, I hope we all stay safe and healthy. And as always, happy reading.